Hello and welcome to The Huddle. I'm your host Arthur Mason, and today I'm joined with Stella Puchalski. The Huddle is a live broadcast run by the students in the sport communication class here at Woodstock Academy, where we highlight our spring sports teams and athletes, filled with game stats and even interviews from some players. Let's take a look into the sport from the past weeks.
The boys volleyball team has had a near-perfect season so far, and they're still rolling. Senior Gavin Hecker made an immediate impact last Monday in his first game as a centaur against Capital Prep, finishing with 15 service points, including 8 aces along with 14 assists and 6 kills in a 3-0 win. The team hit a bump against Farmington, losing 3-1, marking its first loss of the season. Evan Chernick led with 12 kills and 11 service points, while Owen Budd added 15 kills and Braden Patone had 12. Hecker finished with 26 assists, and Christian Hart chipped in 18 digs and 10 service points. After a forfeit win over Cheney Tech, the Centaurs bounced back, sweeping Hartford Magnet Trinity College Academy 3-0. Vaughn Buzak led the way with 13 service points, including 5 aces, while Chernick added 11 points, 8 kills, and 7 digs. Hecker had 11 assists in the win. The Centaurs kept that momentum going Monday with another 3-0 sweep, this time over Innovation High School. Hart dominated from the service line with 23 points and 6 aces. Batone added 8 kills, and Hecker had 16 assists. They also added a 3-0 win over New London last night to improve to 15-1 overall. With a full roster, the team is aiming for both the Eastern Connecticut Conference and Connecticut Volleyball League titles, and they're back on the road tonight to face Rockville at 5 p.m.
The girl golf season is underway with a solid start to the season. Recent matchups include a home match against Putnam Turtle Lot, co-op with a big win of 184 to 258, featuring an outstanding performance by Regan Check. She put a season best of 39 on her home course in that match. Other key performance came from senior Lily Morin with a 44 and Isabel Tedeschi with a 50. Last Wednesday, the Centaurs put together a well-played match against East Lyme, winning 184 to 208. Coach Earl Simmerrock season goal came through with 4 of his players dipping into the 40s, including freshman Brian Beck with a 48. Other great performances that night came from Sheck with a 40, Morin with a 47, and Colby O'Connor with a 49. The Centaurs are now 6-1 on their season and 5-0 in the Eastern Connecticut Conference. Now we will move on to the Huddle reporter, Gabrielle Flannery, with special guests from the golf team.
Thank you, Arthur. I'm here with the Woodstock Academy golfers, Lily Moran and Isabel Tedeschi, and Coach Earl Semmelrock. So, Lily, you had a strong round against Stonington at Quintessent with a 43 yesterday, and you shot a 47 against the Bears. What were you most proud of in your performance during that match yesterday?
I was most proud of the fact that I was hitting them solid and hitting them where I wanted them to go.
As a senior leader, how do you approach helping the team stay focused and confident during difficult conditions like wind, cold weather, and like yesterday, rain?
I try to keep the mood light, like telling them they're doing good, keep their head up, and just supporting them.
How have you seen the program grow from when you first joined to now?
When I first joined, there weren't a lot of girls, but it's growing a lot because there's a lot of people joined this year. So we have a varsity team, and we also have JV.
What role do you play as a co-captain building team chemistry?
We like to golf like on the weekends with others, and we like to say hi and like just if we see them in the halls, just say hi to them.
What goals do you personally have for the rest of the season, both individually and as a leader?
I'm trying to keep my score down, and we're trying to make it to states, which we probably will, and yeah.
Thank you, Lily. Isabel Tedeschi is a junior on the Centaurs team. Isabel, the team is still very young. Does that mean good things for the future of the program?
I definitely think so. I mean, my freshman year, it was a lot of less girls. We didn't have a JV team, but a lot of the girls, they're doing really well this season. I think we're all really proud of them.
How have you felt about your season so far, personally?
Personally, I've had some really good matches and some really bad ones. It's all there kind of mentally for me, and I've been taking lessons to kind of really improve my game. So I think I'm really going to have a great season.
The team is 6-1 on the season. Are you happy with how things have gone so far?
Yes, I think we're going to make it to states this year, which will be our second consecutive year, which I think will be great for us.
What was your best match so far, and what was your toughest?
My toughest match was definitely our invitational at Norwich. I didn't play exactly how I wanted to, but I definitely think like yesterday and some of the matches at home, I've really regained my confidence and my abilities to kind of play golf.
Thank you, Isabel. Let's talk now to Coach Summerrock. The team had multiple players scoring in the 40s against Stonington on its home course earlier this season. What does that say about the overall development of this group?
Well, the team is really coming together well. We have 9 girls on the varsity, and every one of them is capable of shooting in the 40s. If they put their best effort forward that day, it'll happen.
How did the team adjust to the challenging weather conditions during that match and other matches so far this season?
Well, it's always a challenge. You know, the beginning of the season, we played in really cold and windy weather, and the courses weren't in very good shape. Now that the weather's improving, we're seeing the scores come down, and the course conditions are better, so that leads to better scores as well.
You mentioned strong competition for varsity spots. How does that internal competition help improve performance during matches?
Well, it does because it's a pretty competitive group, and everybody wants to play in the varsity matches. We can only have up to 6 players in each match, so the 6, 7, 8, and 9 is a real competition for those spots. We try to rotate everybody in and give everybody some equal time.
What stood out to you the most about the team's performance in the win over Stonington yesterday?
Just their ability to bounce back. The day before we played we had our toughest match of the season and our highest score at Norwich, and despite the adverse weather and tough conditions yesterday, we slogged it through the rain and had really good results.
With your 20 years of experience coaching, how does this team compare to others you've coached in terms of potential and depth?
Well, it's probably the deepest team that I've had since we had the team that won the state championship in 21. Everybody, as I said, has a competitive spirit, and they want to do well. They all get along, so it's a really easy group to coach.
Thank you all of your time today. Back to you, Arthur.
We'll now take it over to Sarah to talk about the boys track team.
The boys track team, in its first and only home meet of the season, downed Norwich Free Academy at the South Campus track, 102-48 last week. A couple of Centaur athletes captured not 1, not 2, but 3 first-place finishes. Senior Eli Manning won the shot put, discus, and javelin and was second in the 110-meter hurdles. Fellow senior Abe McGregor was best in the 100 and 200-meter races and the long jump, and was a member of the winning 4x100-meter relay team for the Woodstock Academy. Owen Williamson won 110-meter and 300-meter hurdles and ran the anchor leg of the winning 4x100-meter relay. Colin Teal was best in the 400-meter, and Sam Green captured the 800-meter. The Centaurs followed that up yesterday with an 80-69 win over Fitch to capture Eastern Connecticut Conference Division I regular season title. Congratulations, boys.
The girls track team also secured the Eastern Connecticut Conference Division I title yesterday with a 125-23 win over Fitch at home. Last week, the girls track team had a meet at Norwich Free Academy, winning 90-60. Junior Elisa Coyle paved the way for Woodstock Academy, getting 15 points with the first in the long jump and 400-meter, and joined freshmen Claire Bruno and Émile Langevin and sophomore Bella Amla for first in the 4x400-meter relay. Senior Emma Whiteneck earned 13 points herself, winning the 100 meters and 300-meter hurdles, and earning a second-place spot in the 200-meter. Sophomore Tegan Maloney also earning 13 points, getting first in the 100 and 200 meters race, and second place in the 300 meters hurdles. Senior Isabelle Delawa-Brochin broke her own record by 5 feet in javelin, earning first place with a throw of 131 feet 11 inches. She's also got a second place in the high jump and third in the triple jump. Now I will turn it over to Huddle reporter Dylan Phillips for a special interview.
With the track team having great success this year, one person has stood out with multiple school records and meet records. Lily Morgus is here to tell us how she broke these records, and she is joined by Woodstock Academy throwing coach Jerry LaMontagne. Welcome to the huddle. With having the new record of the Patriots game with a throw 138 feet, how would you describe that feeling after seeing the final distance?
I'm definitely really happy with the distance. It was really exciting coming off of how much I've been doing in practice and having a lot of support with others, so I was really excited.
What preparation did you do to prepare for this event?
So I talked a lot with my friends so I don't get too frazzled before the meet, and I usually just like to do a lot of stretching and not get too much in my head because I've been known to do that, but I'm not doing that this year, which is good.
That's not the only record broken by Lily. At the Bacon Academy Invitational, you threw 140 feet and 3 inches. How do you feel when breaking your own school record?
I did not think it was real. I thought it was a mismark at first, and then they confirmed that it was actually a 140 mark, and I was really, really proud. And I looked at my friends, and they were super ecstatic, and I was really happy about that.
With already having the school record, what pushes you to get better every day?
I definitely say myself because I can be pretty hard on myself when I'm throwing and when I'm with my friends, but they're also a good driving force. So I just want to keep bettering my form, and the distance will come with that.
What have you learned from your time at the Woodstock Academy track team?
I've definitely learned a lot about myself and how I respond to my emotions as a person, especially in athletics. I've definitely made a lot of friends who's helped me realize those emotions, and yeah.
How has Coach Jerry LaMontagne helped you develop your throwing over the last 4 years?
He's definitely pushed me a lot. He's a really good coach. He's always there when you need him. He's going to tell you how it is, and that's fact. And he's just been a really good force to have pushing me.
If you had to tell one younger track and field player a piece of advice to get where you are today, what would it be?
I would say don't worry about the distance as much as the distance will come. Sometimes I forget myself that distance is kind of a part of it, but the technique and the way you're performing as an athlete is the thing that should be prioritized.
With having so many talented throwers around you, how do you all work together and push each other to be better?
We each have our own events that we have our respective events that we're good at, and I definitely believe that pushing each other by being our own competition during the shot put and javelin, we're all pushing each other, we're kind of razzing each other, but in the good ways, not like bad ways. So yeah.
Being a top discus thrower, what were your plans for next year?
I'm going to throw at Southern Connecticut State University for 4 years, and I'm hoping to grow more as an athlete and as a person and making new teammates. So I'm really excited.
Now we introduce the throwing coach of the Woodstock Academy girls track team, Jerry LaMontagne. What is it like coaching Lily?
It's been a lot of fun. She's put a lot of dedication into it, and it's very rewarding to see somebody. 140-foot discus throwers don't grow on trees. It's a pretty special throw that she had, and she's proven to be very talented at the event.
How has Lily impacted your fellow throwers on your team?
She's just a great presence on the team in general. She's a great example of how I try to coach the kids. She's, as far as a leader, having somebody that talented, doing the things that I ask, putting in the reps, putting in the work, doing all the little things. It's just a great example for the younger kids to see that those are the pieces that you need.
How have you changed the throwing program, and what makes it one of the best in Connecticut?
The first thing is without a doubt, having some talented kids who buy into what I'm trying to do. As far as coaching goes, I'm just trying to preach a combination of accountability, consistency, and discipline when I'm out there.
Having many elite throwers on your team, how is it balancing your time between all of them and improve it equally?
Not easy. I'm always trying to improve balancing time between all the throws, not just the kids who are at the state level, but even the new kids who are coming up and whatnot. I never feel like there's enough time to be working with anybody.
With losing top throwers like Lily and also Avery Pluth, how do you plan on replacing them next year?
You don't replace those types of throwers is the first thing. It would be unfair for me to approach, a freshman or a sophomore next year and be like, you have to be the next Lily Morgus. You can't do that. I will do the same thing with those people next year that I've done with Lily and Avery and the rest of the group to get them and just let them keep improving at their own pace and keep trying to challenge them as they improve.
Thank you, Coach LaMontagne, and thank you, Lily. Now back to Arthur.
Thank you, Dylan. Let's turn it over to Stella to talk about the baseball team.
Boys baseball has had a roller coaster ride since the last Huddle broadcast, with the Centaurs improving their record 6-7 after their recent win against Montville 5-4 on Monday. Although the Centaurs led the game against Montville early, the Wolves tied the game in the top of the fourth inning. Woodstock Academy senior Caleb Simino led off the bottom of the fourth with a single, went to the second on a flyout, and scored on a single with Will Ellsworth. Last Friday, the baseball team hosted its annual youth night and downed Plainfield 11-2. One of the newest freshmen on the team showed why he was made to be there, as Felix Ramos pitched 5 of the 7 innings, allowed just 2 hits and struck out 10. Freshman catcher Jamison Costa managed to get 3 hits and 2 runs batted in, while Simino added 2 hits including a double, and he also drove us in 2 runs.
On Saturday, the girl lacrosse team won 12-11 against Wheeler. Vivian Bibot had 7 goals, while Kaylee Saucy had 4 goals, and Bailey Rosinski had 1 goal, giving them 3 first wins this season. On Tuesday, the team played at Bentley Athletic Complex and played against St. Bernard. Kaylee Saucier finished with a hat-trick, and Clara Dowd, Bailey Rosinski, and Allison McCoxter had all goal, but unfortunately, it wasn't enough as they lost 12-6. But they rebounded for a 9-7 win over Killingly yesterday.
On the golf course, the Woodstock Academy boys golf team concluded a highly successful week last Thursday. The Centaurs secured their 4th consecutive victory with a 7-0 win over Montville. Aiden O'Connor carded a 38 in the win. That was preceded by a 6-1 win over East Lyme at the Old Lyme Country Club last Wednesday. O'Connor, Blake Hoodok, and Max Kopp all led the Centaurs by carding identical scores of 41. Last week's performance improved the team's record to 4-2 overall and 2-1 in ECC Division I play. The Centaurs host a tri-match against Coventry and Lyman at home today at 3 p.m.
The Woodstock Academy softball team celebrated Senior Day with a victory on their home field at Bentley Athletic Complex Monday, handing St. Bernard a 3-1 loss. Senior pitcher Kelly Ziarko went the distance, allowed 3 hits and the 1 run, and finished with 6 strikeouts in the circle for the Centaurs. Caroline Etier and Feet Sorwell each had an RBI in the win. Prior to the game, Ziarko and her senior teammates, Laurie Sampson, Camvel Favo, and Maki Korati were recognized for their contribution to the program.
The boys lacrosse team has posted 2 straight wins. Corey LaFawn had a productive day at the senior attack and had 5 goals and 5 assists, and Kwan Sangasi made 6 saves in the net and pitched the shutout as the boys lacrosse team blanked Norwich Tech in Norwich yesterday 16-0. The win helped the Centaurs edge closer to the break-even mark at 5-6 on the year. Dylan Phillips added 4 goals and 3 assists, and Patrick Griswold tossed in 3 goals and 2 assists in the win. The past Saturday, the Centaurs posted a 12-10 win over St. Paul Catholic. Phillips finished with 6 goals, while Griswold had 3 goals. Jackson Ailman had 2. LaFawn also had 3 assists with Griswold, and Zach Armbruster getting 2 apiece. We will now turn it to the Huddle reporter Logan Rumroll for more about the boys lacrosse program.
Thank you, Stella. Good morning, Centaurs. Today I'm joined by Corey LaFond, Quan Sangasi, and Coach Jason Tata from the boys lacrosse team. Let's start it off with Corey. Corey, when did you start playing lacrosse?
I started playing lacrosse in 6th grade.
So, Corey, you recently had a career-high game with 11 assists. What was going through your head during that game?
Just to distribute the ball and find my open teammates and win the game.
How do you feel the team playing right now, and can it still be improved?
I think we're doing a pretty good job all around. I think we need to improve with playing for each other and just being there for each other, but we have a pretty good squad, so.
Do you plan on playing in the future?
It's definitely a possibility to play in the future, but as of right now, I'm not really too sure.
Thank you, Corey. Now let's bring it to Quan. Quan, you play goalie. What drew you to that position?
What drew me to the position was that I've always been a defender and just thought, why not just take it one step further and be a goalie?
What goes through your head when receiving a shot or just in a tight game in general?
What's going through my head is just stop the ball. That's all that I'm worried about.
Have you had to play through an injuries coming from a shot?
Shots definitely hurt, but the game doesn't stop for you, and the other team does not care that you're hurt.
How does it feel coming off your first shutout against Norwich Tech?
It feels great. I've been working to it for all 4 years now, and I'm just glad that I could finally get it done.
Thank you, Quan. I'm here with Coach Tata. How long have you been a coach for the boys lacrosse team here at Woodstock?
So I think at this point, this is my 6th season.
Very nice. What brings you back to it each time?
Honestly, the players, the younger guys that keep coming up every year, draws me to come back for the same guys, these same players. We got such a good vibe on the team. We have guys that want to work hard, that want to play hard. We got competitors. It's the players. It's the players.
Are there struggles you face as a coach through the year?
Oh, yeah, constantly. Constantly. Various players have to work. The time crunch of how fast the spring season is. I mean, we start off, we hit tryouts, and a week later, we have a scrimmage, and then games start right there. We got new players that come in that have never played the game of lacrosse before, ever. We have football players, we have hockey guys, we got soccer guys that just come out and want to have a good time and, learn a new sport. And trying to crash course lacrosse isn't exactly the easiest thing in the world, so that's always a struggle. But right about now, we're hitting our stride. Guys are starting to pick it up. Guys are learning the game, so it's good.
Can you talk about the season and how it has gone so far?
Good. Roller coaster. Big time roller coaster. If we want to go back to challenges that we face, it's the ECC is our biggest challenge. A lot of really, really good teams in your own conference. So we play a lot of close games against these guys. But as the season goes through, we start hitting our stride. We start figuring the game out. We gel together as a team. And, we're nowhere to go but up. Nowhere to go but up. We're hitting a good little win streak. We got a couple really tough games coming up. And then hopefully we can qualify for the state tournament.
Like you said, you want to qualify for the state tournament. Is that your main goal for the remainder of the season?
Yeah, always is. I tell these guys, first tryout is as a coach, I want to win games because I want to get one more unscheduled game. I don't know if that's corny or not, but, we have our scheduled 16 games. States is never scheduled. You have to qualify for states. You have to earn the right for states. That's always my goal for our team, earn our right to go to the dance.
Thank you all for coming. Let's send it back to Stella.
Thank you, Logan. Let's turn it back to Arthur to talk about prep soccer.
The prep soccer team recently competed at the Black Rock Spring Cup, mine in New York, where only the U19 competed in. The U19 team played Prospect 2 Pro with a 2-0 victory, with Richard Sarpong and Pedro da Silva scoring goals and Dana Shetima delivered assists. The Centers also had a 3-0 win in the second game over La Liga, where Arthur Mason scored 2 goals in the win, and Idam John also tailed and Dana and Oscar Pierman had assists in the game. Unfortunately, the Centers lost their third game, but they bounced back strongly, finishing on a high note with a 2-1 win in their final game over South Kent.
The girls' tennis team is also having a strong season, currently sitting at 8-1. Their only loss came last Monday against East Lyme, with Winterworth picking up the team's lone win at second singles. But the Centaurs bounced right back, beating Lyman Memorial behind strong performances from Gianna Musamichi, Winterworth, Kerrigan Reynolds, and Catherine Trudeau. They followed that with a close 4-3 win over Ledyard. Trudeau came from behind to win the 3 sets, while Musamichi and Reynolds added singles victories. The doubles team of Maria Onik and Lillian Gregorczyk secured the deciding point. Then on Monday, the team shut out Fitch 7-0 on the road. Onik and Gregorczyk sealed the sweep with a tiebreaker win. Tonight, the Centaurs go on the road, taking on Killingly at 3:45 p.m. And now we'll send it over to Huddle reporter Gabe Flannery interviewing Gianna Musamichi and Delilah Kesselman and Coach Stephen Weatherall for more on the team's success.
Thank you, Stella. Today I'm here with Gianna, a senior who plays singles for the Woodstock Academy. Gianna, what do you think has been the key to the team's success this season?
I think our success has come from the amount of experience we have on the team. We have 3 seniors and a lot of returning players and a lot of people that actually know the game, which we haven't had in past years, so that's always good.
How did you prepare for your strong performance against Lyman Memorial?
The best thing I can do personally is prepare mentally because I already have the experience and I know how to play the game. But what comes from playing a lower level team is the mental aspect and not playing down to their level.
How do you feel the singles players have done this season?
I think singles has been great. I've been half-half. Winter Worth is doing amazing. She's undefeated. But I think that most of our wins, the doubles has clutched it for us.
After the loss to East Lyme, how did the team bounce back so quickly?
Well, after East Lyme, it was pretty tough, but they're always a great competitor. We had our team pasta party and got back together, regrouped, and we kicked some butt.
Thank you, Gianna. Now we're here with Delilah Kesselman, a junior who plays doubles in the girls' tennis team. Delilah, what would you say is the most important part of communication with your doubles partner during matches?
I would say it's really important to be really vocal just because the points can be really fast-paced, and to stay on the same page, you need to make sure you're loud and your partner can hear you.
As a junior playing doubles, how have you grown throughout the season?
I definitely think my skills have grown, but also my communication with my partner and just helping with the team as a whole.
Have you always played doubles, and what made you play doubles instead of singles?
Yes, I've played doubles since my freshman year, and it's really nice having a partner on the court because singles can sometimes be a really difficult game mentally, and having someone else is helpful.
The doubles team have had to change at times this season due to injuries and illness. Is it difficult to make those changes quickly?
It was definitely difficult initially, but our team's been really good at adjusting and coming back even stronger.
Thank you, Delilah. Now we are here with Coach Weatherall. What stands out to you about the team's performance this season?
I think what really stands out about our team and our girls is just their ability to adapt. I think from week to week we see how their game has changed and their ability to kind of like adapt with the opponent they're playing, but also to just continue to strive to make efforts to improve their game every single week. I think that really stands out.
Did you expect to be 8-1 at this point in the season?
It's definitely been great for us to be 8-1. I think as a team, it was our goal to get to 10 wins initially, and I think we're definitely going to hit that goal. I think when we started this season, the whole team knew that that was the expectation, and I think through our leadership and through everybody kind of coming together, we've definitely hit our margins with that. Yeah.
What are the future goals for the team this year?
Ultimately, our goal is to win ECC, start with that, and that's stage one, okay, and then kind of work through and compete for states. I think this team is very talented. We call it Woodstock Academy Tennis is what we strive to do every single week, and we just want to keep competing and have another opportunity to get to the next game.
What would be the focus for the team in upcoming matches like the one against Killingly today?
I think the focus is to just keep doing what we're doing, keep playing Woodstock Academy Tennis, and keep focusing on the things that we do well. Kind of focusing more on ourselves, less on the opponent, and just like what ways can we improve, what ways can we support each other, and then how can we kind of continue our season again from week to week.
Thank you for joining us.
The Woodstock boys tennis team took the Pomfret indoor court earlier this week for a Tuesday showdown with Fitch. It was a quick turnaround for the squad following their intense 4-3 victory over Lead Yard on Monday. That Lead Yard match really tested their grit. It came down to a dominant performance in single play where Rodrigo Diaz, Ryan Shabbat, Daniel Jemison, and Heath White all locked in big wins to secure all the team victory. That resilience is why they entered all the week a perfect 4-0 in the Division 2 and 5-3 overall. A solid week of work for the Centers as they continue to hold that spot, the top spot in the conference standings.
Unfortunately, that is all the time we have today on this episode of The Huddle. Thanks for checking in with us as we covered the hard work, dedication, and school spirit brought to us by our Woodstock Academy Centaurs. Be sure to join us next time for more stories, highlights, and updates from our school sports community, and we will see you next time on The Huddle.